Hi children, welcome to the class. Actually, already you know that we completed 3 modules from this lesson. 18th century political formations, right? And today we are going to discuss about the seizing provinces, right? That though they are Sikhs, Marathas and Jats. Okay, actually first we divided the Indian subcontinent into 3 categories. Okay, in that old Mughal provinces is the first one. In that we discussed about Hyderabad, Awadh and Bengal, and the second topic is Vadan Jagirs of Rajputs, right? And that also we discussed yesterday in the previous module. And next here today, now in this module we are going to discuss about the Sikhs, Marathas and Jats. Okay, so the first topic is Sikhs. The first subtopic is about Sikhs. So here actually in the 17th century, okay, in the 17th century the Sikhs are a prominent political community. They became a political entity, political community to build the state in the Punjab. Okay, region state in the Punjab under the guidance of Guru Gobind Singh. Okay, and here actually what happened, the Guru Gobind Singh they fought continuously, they fought with the Mughals and Rajputs also at the same time. Okay, means till the 1699. But after the death of Guru Gobind Singh, means here Guru Gobind Singh also fought before and after the institution of Khalsa. Okay, Khalsa we know already, we discussed in the 8th chapter, right? So Khalsa means a group of Sikhs, right? That is considered as the Khalsa. So here before and after the institution of Khalsa also they fought with the Mughals and Rajputs at the same time, and till in the year of 1699. And after the death of Guru Gobind Singh in the year of 1708, the Guru Gobind Singh was expired. So after him also, under the leadership of Banda Bahadur, they fought with the Mughals. Okay, and they declared their administration, their own administration, with the introduction of coins in the name of Guru Gobind Singh and Guru Nanak. Okay, so that time their administration was in between river Jamuna and Satluj. Okay, so in between the 2 rivers they expanded their administration in between the rivers, river Satluj and river Jamuna. And here in the year 1715, and they implemented in the year of 1716. Okay, so actually the capable rulers of Sikhs, they developed and they segmented into different unions. Okay, they are Jats, and after in the later 18th century they were considered as Mizils, right? And combinedly their unity is considered as Dal Khalsa. Okay, and they were used to meet at Amritsar to take collective decisions. Okay, collective decisions at the time of Baisakhi and Diwali. That collective decisions also there is solutions of Gurmatas, right? So that Gurmatas they used to take at the time of Baisakhi and Diwali. Okay, and one more important thing is they introduced the occasion of Rakhi. Okay, that is the protection of cultivators to the land payment of tax 20% of produce. Okay, like that they developed. Here also Guru Gobind Singh also very much inspired of that Khalsa movement, and actually that Khalsa rule is Raj Karega Khalsa. Okay, so based on that they were very much inspired, and at the same time afterwards in the year of 1765 also again they fought for the struggle with Mughals, and that time also they introduced again coins, but the same coins at the name of Guru Gobind and Guru Nanak Singh, but they are not that much familiar. Okay, so like that here their territories also expanded a lot in between river Indus and river Jamuna. Okay, but in the leadership of different rulers. Okay, so but afterwards again they reunited under the leadership of Rana Ranjit Singh in the year of 1799. Okay, and they integrated and they established their capital at the city of Lahore. Okay, so this is about the Sikhs. Okay, children. So children, coming to the next subtopic is Marathas. I know you know already about Maratha famous king Shivaji, right? So Shivaji is the famous king here, and he is the well-known king for us. And here Shivaji's reign is 1627 to 1680. Okay, and here actually he was at the age of very small age he came into the rule, and with the support of Kumbini families, means Deshmukh family support, he was emerged like anything, and he expanded his territories also. Okay, and he was a very strong and efficient king, and his administration also very strong and efficient, right? And here actually he took the support of and after his death also, after Shivaji's death also, who came as his successors actually, they worked as Peshwas before. Okay, means at the time of Shivaji they worked as ministers. Peshwa means prime ministers. Okay, so that Peshwas came into the rule, and they also ruled very effectively Maratha kingdom. Okay, at the time of Peshwas, Pune became the capital of Maratha kingdom. Okay, and after that also they also fought with the Mughals continuously, and they are engaging the Mughal armies continuously, right? And continuously they are raiding. Mughals are raiding on the Maratha kingdom, and at the same time Marathas also rapidly and repeatedly they are fighting with the Mughals. Okay, in here actually after the Shivaji also, and at the time of 1720 and 1730. Okay, at the time of 1720 actually here they recognized one complete, means in the at the time of 1720 they came into the rule, and at the time of 1730 Maratha rulers became powerful landlords, powerful kings. Okay, so here actually their kingdom was expanded at the all the sides of India. Okay, Punjab, Bengal, Orissa, Rajasthan, right, and Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Telugu countries also, south side also they expanded their kingdom. Okay, so all the sides they expanded, and till at the time of Panipat was 1761. At the time of that time they expanded like anything, means almost so many areas they expanded, and their kingdom was established in all the territories from in the all the sides of the subcontinent. Okay, and here we can say with the help of so many military forces and different military campaigns they maintained. And here at the time of Shivaji we have to we can discuss one different type of warfare, that is guerrilla warfare, that was introduced at the time of Shivaji only. Okay, guerrilla warfare means suddenly, without any information, without any intimation, suddenly they will attack on the people. Okay, on the soldiers. Okay, that is called as guerrilla warfare. Okay, so children, based on this kind of tactics, strategies they applied, and different kinds of techniques they used in the warfare, so that is the reason they engaged with Mughals. Okay, they stopped the Mughals to occupy their areas. Okay children, this is about the Marathas. And next coming to the subtopic is Jats. So children, let's have a glance on Jats. Okay, like other states, these Jats also consolidated their power in the area of Agra and Delhi, right? And here these people also under the leadership of Churaman. Okay, they fought with the Mughals. Okay, and here actually these people also struggled a lot to get their own individual kingdom. Okay, so almost here also means here they dominated areas. Their dominated areas are in between the imperial two cities, that is Agra and Delhi. Okay, in between these areas occupied by them and dominated by them in that time. Okay, late 17th and 18th centuries, nearly 1680 they occupied that areas. Okay, so here under Surajmal also they developed that area, and their capital city is Bharatpur. Okay, so that time that area was developed a lot, and they expanded their kingdom, and they ruled very efficiently. They are also very strong and efficient rulers. Their strategies also are very good. Okay, but here at the time of Nadir Shah, actually Nadir Shah was invaded on India. We learned from second lesson onwards, we are learning the topic, right? Even the new kings and kingdoms also we learned about Nadir Shah. He invaded on India because of our wealth. Okay, in the year of 1739 he invaded on India, and after him his son Jawahir Shah also invaded with his 30,000 of own his troop, and he was hired the 20,000 troops from Marathas and 15,000 from Sikhs to fought with the Mughals. Okay, and while here that Bharatpur fort was built in a traditional way. Okay, that was very nice and very royal and official palace, and beside that palace these jats were constructed a nice garden also. Okay, and all these were in a traditional style, and in the Shah Jahan reign also we can see so many gardens and different palaces was constructed in the reign of Shah Jahan, right? So children, this is about the jats. Now just I want to show you some slides about these three dynasties. Okay, about Sikhs, Jats and Marathas.
Children, see here the first slide. You can see here Guru Gobind Singh. Under his control, under his guidance only, Sikhs fought with the Mughals and Rajputs continuously, right? And he is the and that is the Khalsa movement. Okay, and the next slide is Guru Nanak. And at the name of Guru Nanak and Guru Gobind Singh only, they introduced the coins that time. Okay, and the next slide here Banda Bahadur. After the death of Guru Gobind Singh, they fought with the Mughals under the guidance of Banda Bahadur, right? And next here coming to the Marathas, Shivaji. Okay, you know already towards the end of the 17th century, a powerful state started emerging in the Deccan under the leadership of Shivaji, which finally led to the establishment of the Maratha state. Shivaji was born to Shaji and Jijabhai at Shivneri in 1630. Under the guidance of his mother and his guardian Dada Kondev, Shivaji embarked on a career of conquest at a young age. The occupation of Javli made him undisputed leader of the Mavla highlands, which paved the way for the further expansion. His exploits against the forces of Bijapur and the Mughals made him the legendary figure. He often resorted to guerrilla warfare against his opponents by introducing on the efficient administrative system supported by a revenue collection method based on Chat and Sardeshmukhi. He laid the foundations of a strong Maratha state. And Baji Rao won. Here you can see the mother of Shivaji, Jijabai. She was she inspires the Shivaji. Okay, and because of her stories, Shivaji emerged like that. And the next slide, you can see here Baji Rao won. He is the Peshwa at the time of Shivaji, and after Shivaji, he became the ruler of Maratha kingdom. And Bajirao also considered as Ballal, Bajirao Ballal, was the son of Peshwa Balaji Vishwanath. He was a great Maratha general who is credited to have expanded the Maratha kingdom beyond the Vindhyas and the known for his military campaigns against Malwa, Bundelkhand, Gujarat, and the Portuguese. Right? And see here, this is the Maratha kingdom, children, how it was expanded. Actually, here the Shivaji officially not declared this is Maratha's kingdom. But what happened after Shivaji? All these different rulers, different areas, the rulers, they agreed to pay the tax to the means tribute to the Maratha kingdom. So under Marathas control only, they ruled their areas. Okay, and the next, revenue collection methods. Here actually he possessed the right to levy Chat and Sardeshmukhi. Chat means 25% of the land revenue claimed by zamindars. In the Dakkan, this was collected by the Marathas only. Okay, and next coming to the Sardeshmukhi, 9 to 10% of the land revenue paid to the head revenue collector in the Deccan. These are the revenue collection methods. And next coming to the Maratha chiefs. Actually, Marathas they helped. Okay, agricultural was encouraged and trade revived, and this allowed Maratha chiefs like Scindia of Gwalior, Gaikwad of Baroda, and Bhonsle of Nagpur, and the resources to raise powerful armies. Maratha campaigns into Malwa in the 1720s did not challenge the growth of prosperity of the cities in the region. Ujjain expanded under Scindia's patronage and Indore under Holkar's. So, by all accounts, these cities were large and prosperous and functioned as important commercial and cultural centers. Okay, new trade routes emerged within the areas controlled by the Marathas. And next, here we can see Churamanu. He is the leader of Jats. Okay, under his control, our territory is situated to the west of the city of Delhi, and by the 1680s, they had begun dominating the region between the two cities of Delhi and Agra. And next, Surajmal. Under the guidance of Surajmal, they dominated, and the kingdom of Bharatpur was emerged like a strong state. Okay, and next, here we can see the Lohangad fort. Okay, and this is actually the power of the Jats reached its zenith under the Surajmal, who consolidated the Jat state of Bharatpur during 1756 to 1763. Children, here we can observe the areas under the political control of Surajmal broadly included parts of modern eastern Rajasthan, southern Haryana, western Uttar Pradesh, and Delhi. Surajmal built a number of forts and palaces, and the famous Lohgad fort in Bharatpur is regarded as one of the strongest forts built in this region. Okay, so children, and next, Jahavir Shah. He is the son of Nadir Shah, and he his own troop, 30,000 of troops he have, and he also hired 20,000 from Marathas, 15,000 from Sikhs to fight with the Mughals. Okay, and so children, this is about the seizing independence. Okay, the Sikhs, Marathas, and Jats. So children, I hope you understand the topic, right? Just now we discussed about Sikhs, Marathas, and Jats, and in that who was the famous kings. Okay, coming to the Sikhs, Guru Gobind Singh, Banda Bahadur, and Guru Nanak, right? And all these are the important people. Under Dal Khalsa, they fought with the Mughals and Rajputs at the same time, and they declared themselves as the independent rulers by introducing the coins. Okay, and next coming to the Marathas. Marathas, already we know Shivaji is the famous ruler, right? And his duration is 1627 to 1680.
Okay, and he was very much inspired his mother's stories from his childhood onwards, and at the small age he came to the rule and he emerged as the independent ruler. And he also continuously engaged with the fightings with the Mughals. Okay, and after him who came as his successors, they also very strong and efficient Peshwas, right? Peshwa Balaji Vishwanath and Peshwa Bajirao Bhallad, he also considered as, right? All these are very strong and efficient rulers, and they expanded their territories at all the sides of the subcontinent, like Rajasthan, Bengal, Orissa, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Telugu country, right? Telugu areas also they occupied and they ruled. Okay, and they emerged in all the aspects, politically, socially, economically also. Trade centers also emerged, right? And that time sea routes also developed, right? And their tax collection methods also very efficient, that Chat and that Sardesh Mukhi, right? Effectively they did all the things and they ruled. Okay, and after that Jats also very strong and efficient. Under the leadership of Churaman they came into the rule, and after that Surajmal also very strong and efficient ruler. He expanded his kingdom. Okay, and his reign only that Bharatpur, present-day Rajasthan, was developed, and they constructed different forts in the traditional style. They encouraged art and culture activities. Okay, so children, this is about the six Marathas and Jats. Okay, I hope you understand the concept. And so the lesson completed. Children, I want to give you a small task here. Okay, collect the information about the Shivaji's childhood. Okay, with whom support he came into the role and how he emerged as a king. Okay, okay, children.